This is the Frugal Gardener. I'm on the homestead. I garden in Zone 7A. My homestead is 4.5 acres. I know you guys are busy, so I try to make my videos short because I know you guys have a lot to do. But today I'm going to ask for your patience because what I'm going to explain to you is going to be worth the wait. I have something special at the end of this video that I want to show you guys, something that I'm almost positive that you haven't seen before. But today I'm going to do a follow-up on a video that I did, a couple of years ago called Future Food. And it's going to take a little bit of explaining. So like I said, I hope you guys bear with me because this is not something that you're going to see on most gardening videos. Everybody wants quick, everybody wants fast, everybody wants stuff you can grow in 2 and 3 months, just like me. I mean, I do also. But because of the fact that the cost of everything has been rising in terms of mostly food, I did a video and a blog called Future Food. So my question to you guys is, are you patient? Do you consider yourself a patient person? Because what is about to take place is something that I attempted to do a couple of years ago, but then I had to move. What I'm showing you are trees. This is actually a fig tree. Believe it or not, this fig tree I brought in the spring, and it has tripled in size. It's outgrown this pot, like pretty much everything I'm going to show you guys. But I'm showing you the fig tree for a reason. We need a way to offset our food costs, even if you don't. These are things that you probably want to grow or should be growing. Even if you don't have a big garden, you can grow a lot of these in containers. This fig tree is probably going to give me figs either next year or year after next. A 2 to 3 year old fig tree can give you 60 figs. I had a fig tree at the last property. I think I told you guys the story before. The government wanted to build a highway, to be precise, an overpass, and everybody had to move. And so I'm kind of starting over. So my future food was kind of put on hold, and now I'm going gangbusters. I'm going to make this bigger and better than it was before. I'm showing you here my blueberry bush. Again, this blueberry bush was about a third of the size, maybe even a quarter of the size. I got this from Tractor Supply in the spring, and we actually got blueberries off of this year, which was surprising to me. You can get 6 to 10 pounds of blueberries off of one blueberry bush. You need to have 2 or 3 in order to maximize the volume, the harvest, and the size. So I'm going to get at least 2 more of these. As I said, you can put these in the ground. Most people do. But I actually got blueberries off of this without having to do anything except for put it in here. This vine, excuse me, this bush, I should say, this will last on average 20 years. Some more, some less, but 20 years is not bad. This fig tree can last up to 100 years. We have family in Virginia, and they have a massive fig tree behind the house, and I mean it gives out tons of figs every year. That's the rooster. We call him Orion, or maybe that's the new rooster that we call Mister. We actually have 2 roosters now. So moving on. What I'm showing you is a grapevine. Now I have 3 grapevines. This one got the most sun, and these leaves are starting to turn a little bit because it is outgrown this container. Again, Something else I brought in the spring, and now that these are getting larger, so now they're both going to start at the same time. Now that it's getting larger, it has outgrown this container. So I'm going to move it into something larger. Over here is a grapevine that I kind of mismanaged this one because I had it in an area that was not getting enough sun. And then I moved it, and then the deer got to it. So I'm kind of nursing this one back to health. But I mean, you know, this is something that you definitely want to have in your food arsenal, because grapevines can last up to 100 years. You get your best grapes for 25 to 30 years. After that, it kind of, you know, kind of peters off. But you can get grapes off of this for the longest time. And there's a lot of things you can make from off of these trees. I said trees, but it's not just trees. It's trees and vines and bushes, because the blueberries is obviously not a tree, it's a bush. And this is the peach tree that I also brought this spring, and it was about a third of the size, and I need to water it right now. But you see this looks like a fish net. That is to keep the deer away, because the deer have been a pain. I mean, peach trees last on average about 15 years, and you can get up to 6 bushels of peaches from one tree. And the average bushel is it's about 48 pounds, almost 50 pounds a bushel. So do the math. Think about all the things that you can make from blueberries and peaches and pears. I had a pear tree at the other property, and man, it took off. I had so many pears. I was giving away pears by the bucketful. I kid you not. I gave them to neighbors. I gave them to strangers. And my my good friend Pat, I think it was her sister-in-law, came by with a 5-gallon bucket. We filled that up, and we still had pears left. So this is peaches, but I am going to get, by the time I'm done, I'm going to have roughly an orchard of 15 fruit trees, because it's going to save me money, it's healthier, and it's more convenient than keep running back and forth to the store. I mean, you can make juice, you can make jellies, jams, wine, pies, cakes. You can make a compote, cobblers, cheesecakes. You can make apple cider. There's a lot of things that you can do with these trees. I'm basically showing you what I'm growing right now, but I'm going to be adding more to this. So this is another grapevine. I took this one to the side because I just wanted to show you that you don't need anything real elaborate to get it started. This is obviously in a grow bag, and this is the third grapevine that I purchased in the spring. I purchased my first one in March, and I think I got a couple in I don't know if it's either April or May, but this is how I start them out. And you can put them in larger containers, or you can put them into the ground. They are all cold hardy or cold tolerant. I live in zone 7A, like I told you at the beginning of this video, and I tell you pretty much in every video. And these can survive in the winter. They go dormant, and they can survive in -0 temperatures. So when you buy these, food prices we talked about earlier, I don't see them going down anytime soon. People are literally borrowing money to buy food. And I just recently read that people don't have the money to pay back. So I don't understand. I don't see a way out for people who are having issues with putting food on the table. But if you are not in that position yet, this is something you might want to think about. I mean, it's nice to be able to go out. My daughter's in-laws just gave us a bunch of peaches. They have apples. They have fruit trees. My neighbor has fruit trees. People have had them for years, and a lot of people are quietly starting to plant them because we're going back to kind of, I guess you can say, the old ways, because you don't just grow the peaches and eat them, although you could. You can just grow the pears or apples and eat them. You know, you could. But this basically sets you up for success where you can make all those things that I talked about sooner. I mean, you know, have you priced blueberries lately? It's ridiculous. So this is something that is going to put you in a position. Yes, that's why I call it future food, because it's going to be a couple of years before you reach its full potential. But now I'm going to show you guys what I promised, something that I don't think you've seen before, something I recently learned about, and that is this. These are called autumn olives. Have you heard of them before? Well, I haven't either. This is the first time that I've actually seen these on the property, and the reason is because, well, this bush was full of them, and now they're gone for the most part because the deer got to them. The deer and the birds. Here is a shot of some of the ones that they missed. I have these all over the property, and I'm about to put nets over the ones that the deer and the birds haven't got to, because actually I saw this on a TV show. Believe it or not, there's a TV show called Moonshiners, and they were making moonshine out of these. And I did some research and found out that these trees were brought over. These are not native to this country, to the US. They were brought over from Japan in the 1830s to control erosion. But there are a lot of people who aren't happy with these because they consider them to be invasive, and in certain parts of West Virginia and other parts of the country, you're really not allowed to grow these. But fortunately for me, these were here when I got here. So what's so special about autumn olives, you say? Well, first of all, they're not really olives. They're berries. And turns out they're a superfood. They have medicinal purposes. You can see these things can get over 10 feet tall. And as I said, I have these everywhere, but they are high in lycopene. They actually have more lycopene than tomatoes. A lot of people eat tomatoes, you know, because they're healthy, but this actually has 17 times more lycopene than tomatoes. It also is packed with vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E. There's a lot of nutrients in these, and people, they harvest these in the fall. That's when they become ripe, and they turn them into jams and jellies. And I guess you can add them in smoothies and other things. The deer also did not get to these, so I will cover these today. I have a run to make, but when I'm done, these will be covered, and I'm going to just walk around and see what the deer and the birds have left, because like I said, these are everywhere. And these were packed about 2 weeks ago, and yeah, they missed a bunch in here, so I'll get these also. But yeah, these are not part of the original video that I had to show you guys, but I keep forgetting to mention these. I meant to put these in a video a couple of weeks ago, because if you live in anywhere in the Northeast, I'm not in the Northeast, I'm a little further south, but it's my understanding from my research that these trees are everywhere, and they're considered invasive. So the farmers don't like them. A lot of people don't like them, but I mean, this is free, healthy food. I mean, you don't have to buy carrots, you don't have to buy tomatoes. You can come out and harvest these if you know where to look. So, I mean, we covered fig trees, blueberry bushes, peach trees, grapevines, pear trees, apple trees. I'm not sure if I mentioned apple trees or not, but I used to have an apple tree, and I plan on having a few of those, at least 3 of those on this property. And in a previous video, I told you guys, if you do not have a um, a place where you can plant this stuff in ground, there are other options. I just started using this 30-gallon tote or bin. Some people call them bins, some people call them totes. And I'm growing lavender, chamomile. You can see what I'm growing in here. So that's one way that you can transfer your trees. You can buy dwarf trees and you can put them in containers like this. This is a 55-gallon drum. This had pickles in it in a previous life, and now I'm using it for water storage. These were given to me by my son-in-law, and that was, oh man, had to be 7 or 8 years ago. They still look brand new. So if you don't have somebody that can give you these, or if you don't have access to them, you can buy trash cans. Just buy a large trash can. Yes, it's going to take a lot of soil to fill it up, but you can, again, if you saw my previous video, what I did was I put a lot of sticks and twigs and a couple of small logs in here, and that way you use it as filler, and then you add soil onto it, and you're good to go. So this way you can plant your trees and whatever else you want to put in above ground, and you're going to save a lot of money. But it's not going to be immediate. I mean, we have savings accounts, we have IRAs, we have 401ks, and you don't get that money right away. It takes a while for you to actually be able to get that money out, you know, when you get older and you retire. This is similar to that, except for you don't have to wait 20 years to get it. So that's my video for today. I have another video coming up. So I hope you guys subscribe. Please pass this on. I'm going to do a follow-up on my lavender video. One of my good friends, Pat, mentioned to me that I did leave a couple of things out, and that video was kind of rushed. But at this point, I'm going to just do another video just on lavender, and that's going to come out pretty soon. So I hope you guys have a great day. This is a frugal gardener. When you grow your own food, you'll always know where it comes from. I'll catch you guys on the flip side with another video in a few days. So enjoy your garden and get off the couch and plant something if you haven't already. Catch you guys pretty soon.